Good evening. Uh-oh.
Need black folks lights.
Oh.
Gotta have some lights. Lights, camera, action. You're on. We're back with Marriage Monday. Oh, okay. Y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready.
Mm-hmm. We just going.
No, we're gonna let you know. We're gonna get some people a little time to get on here. I don't have my other tablet, so I can't be distracted by sharing.
Hi.
How y'all doing? So, welcome to Marriage Monday.
Excuse me.
With the Reeds.
With the Reeds.
That's right.
All right. Hope everyone had a great day.
Great
Sorry,
day.
We're starting in about 5 minutes. Claudia said we ready.
We ready. We ready. Yo, Millicent Hines.
Millicent. Hey, Millicent. Maybe. Sorry. I think.
Is that Millicent Hines from Marietta?
Oh. All right. So what are we here?
That's my YouTube.
That's YouTube.
That's our tag team
YouTube.
This is tag team.
Hey, Gail. Okay. That's my personal page. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get it together, y'all. So look, we've had a great week. We missed last week. We thank you guys for sticking with us.
Weekend.
So we had a great weekend. Yeah, we had a great weekend.
It's only Monday.
Yeah. So we're going into this week. We're glad that we're able to make it back this week. We thank you guys for sticking with us the way you have, the way you do. So appreciate that. Look at Consuela Ballinger.
Mm-hmm.
Marietta in the house over here. That's what's up. So
Mayretta.
Yeah, with Millicent and Consuela, that's Mayretta.
Okay.
You don't know nothing.
Okay. So last week our subject was a very sensitive subject. We talked about abuse. Right. Emotional, physical, we talked about those things. And we agreed and decided with some input from others and be able to come to you all correct and give everyone a chance to be able to give their input even more.
Right.
Because the subject isn't something that you can go into lightly and breeze through.
Nope.
It takes some preparation and it takes some preparation and it takes more time.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're very, very sensitive.
Right.
Very, very sensitive topics.
So tonight.
So we will do a part 2 of talking about abuse. We will do that. We promise that'll be coming soon. But yes, tonight the subject is your mama or me. The subject is your mama or me. The subject is.
So where does this come from?
Your mama or me. That is the subject tonight.
So this subject comes from what?
This subject actually comes from several discussions and several things that have popped up on my social media.
Wait. So the shirts say.
Oh, sorry. We have to do the shirts. Our shirts.
Mine say.
He who finds a wife finds a good thing. And mine says.
Wifey found.
All right.
So now back to the subject is come from a meme that you saw.
Right.
Go ahead.
And we're sorry again. We're skipping around and we forgot. Box Office Wedding is still on Saturday, February the 20th, 2021.
I have a great time
at the Georgia Aquarium. We're planning an entire weekend. Go to tagteamwedding.com and you can submit your RSVP and be there to celebrate with us for the whole weekend from Thursday to Sunday.
Yep.
All right. So. Back to the subject at hand. Your mama or me?
Mm-hmm.
So where did it come from? What's your question? I'm not understanding.
So no, so we got this subject matter came from a couple of different places. One, there was a video that sort of went viral.
Okay.
Where there was a guy pulls up in the car, his mother's in the front seat, and then the wife is expecting the mother to get out of the front seat. And the mama's like, no, she ain't getting out because I was here first. That's my son. Blah 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 blah. the son trying to mitigate this thing and trying to get his wife to just get in the back seat, and a whole argument ensues. Right? That sparked a lot of conversations with people about, where's the place of the mother and who's at fault in this situation. And my baby posted that, and she posted.
And then I posted another. It was a meme, and it was a picture of a man coming home, and the ladies were lined up. The women's were lined up. The first one was his mom. The second one was his wife. Then it was his daughter.
Oh, good.
His
Sister, then a daughter.
Sister, daughter, and his aunt was there as well.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I think the aunt was hanging on the end. And the question asked, who should he hug first? Who should he hug first?
But you know what was interesting about that picture that most people didn't notice? The sister, the aunt, and the daughter arms were down. The mother and the wife were like ready. Were ready. Right. So who should he hug first? And that
we catch y'all live finally. Hey.
So that created a conversation as well as to who does he hug first. He just came home from a long trip. Who you hugging first? Who does he hug first? So before we get into it, let's hear from you guys. Who does he hug first, and who sits in the front seat? How does that work? Based on what y'all think. What y'all think? Where y'all mind is at on this one?
Y'all give it back to us.
Yeah, we want to know.
Who do you think?
Right.
Who comes first?
Right. Should the mother have gotten out of the front seat and got in the back so that the wife can get in the front seat? Does the man come home? Does he hug his mother first? Hug his daughter first? Hug his wife first? Who does he hug first? We know the sister and the auntie don't stand a chance. But who does he hug first?
Process of elimination.
Right. So what y'all thinking? Y'all
type in and let us know your thoughts. Who does he hug first?
Let's see who's gonna be the first one. Who brave enough to say something first?
Hey, Rebecca.
Who brave enough?
Hey, Brad. I see you.
Who is brave enough? I mean, I know who I'm hugging first. I'm telling y'all right now.
Hey.
I know who I'm hugging first. I'm just making sure.
All right, y'all let us know. I don't think it matters, but elders are first. Okay. I'm sorry. How do you say that?
Hi, Mr. Simpson.
Simpson. Amarachi.
Amarachi. Is that how we say it? Amarachi. But we don't want to say nobody's name wrong.
Right. We just gonna say Mr. Simpson.
Unless you tell us, is Amarachi correct?
Yeah, let us know. Is Amarachi the correct pronunciation of your name?
So Amarachi Simpson.
Simpson. Okay.
Says, Rebecca.
Okay, Rebecca says his wife. Crystal says, I say he hugs the wife first. As for the passenger seat, Mama can stay. But if we're heading to the car, I naturally gravitate to the front. Amara, that works. Amara, okay, Amara. Amara shy. Amara shy. We were jacking that.
Okay, sorry.
Amarachi.
Amara shy.
Amara shy.
Got it.
Amara shy.
I learned a new name today.
Thank you, Amara shy.
I'm be saying that all day now.
Right.
Amara shy.
Okay. Jerome says, I need to hug myself first because I would be in the danger zone. Group hug. Gail said, well, I guess out of respect, I will let his mom get in the front first. As far as hug, my husband will definitely hug me first.
So it's
Amarachi. Okay, thank you. Okay. Rebecca says he turned his life over to wife in capital letters, and his mother should respect that. The mother is always relevant, but she is placed second.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We getting going. Wait a minute, we got
let's go. What's that?
Naughty. Thank you for
Most elders prefer the back seat. Naughty said most elders. Naughty, you
know what's cool about that? Naughty usually on my page, my YouTube is, but thank you for going to the tag team marriage.
So Naughty, you played it safe.
Yeah.
You gonna leave it up.
Most elders like going to the back seat, which I understand because my mom she does that.
She does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So we're getting some good feedback.
So we got some feedback there. Now,
all right. So we're gonna dig into this. Now we're gonna give the warning. What is it? Caution. What is it? What you put up before you get started?
The warning.
Okay. This is the warning. Somebody's going to get offended.
Yep.
Someone will be offended tonight. Seriously, wife first. We are the one maze. Someone will be offended tonight. Please understand, we're not trying to tell you how to run your
That's
household.
what's up, Jerome. Jerome in the house.
Jerome in the house.
Jerome in the house.
Jerome.
In the...
Okay.
Go ahead.
Someone will be offended tonight. We are tag team marriage, and we believe in being raw and real because this is life and this is real. We don't put on any pretense. We don't post stuff to get attention. We don't do any of that. We do it because we both have been there before.
That's right.
We've experienced some things in life, and we've learned from our mistakes. And everyone has different ways of doing things. I understand. We understand. But this subject will be a touchy subject matter. So we're going to get into it. My brat said, I just put a young man in his place about this very subject. He says his mother comes first, which is wrong. As a mother of a son and daughter and a daughter-in-law, it's my responsibility. Okay, thank you. And now I lost my place. It's my responsibility to turn over the reins to her. I raised the boy to be a man to his mate. Some things should be automatic. I love you all's feedback, by the way.
Yeah.
This is great. This is great. So we're going to dive into this. Thank you, Brad. We're going to dive into this. When we were discussing this earlier, I had a little bit of a different mindset. But a light kind of came on and just like, when we were like our last few minutes of discussing this before we came on. Let me tell you all whose fault and whose position it is to make sure this does not happen. Whose fault and whose position this is to make sure there is no question of who comes first. It's your mama's fault. It's your mama's position to make sure that you understand what position she plays in your life and what position your wife plays. My brat hit it like, I love it. I love it. Ladies. I do understand that there are times in life and there are situations that a lot of us at some point in life may have been a single mother and had a son. A single mother of a son. And what tends to happen is, we want to read this, but we're going to come back to it. Rebecca, thank you. We're going to come back to it. And what happens is, moms tend to make their sons and put their sons in positions that they don't belong. So as they grow up and become men, they feel like they are obligated to their mother. They're obligated to make sure mom is okay, make sure mom is safe. And please understand, they are obligated to a point to make sure that mom is okay. But where they are not obligated is to put mom before their wives. It is not a thing of disrespect. And I posted, when I posted the meme about who do you hug first, I asked the question. I said, men, go and ask your mother who comes first, her or her mother-in-law. Her or her mother-in-law. Guess how many responses I got? 0. I got 0 responses. Because I can almost guarantee that if they went and asked their mother that question, none of them said, oh, mother-in-law comes first. When it comes to us making decisions, when it comes to us in our household, and what we hold important, and our moral values, and just how we raise our children, that discussion should be had with your spouse, not determined by your parents. So let me read Rebecca's. Wait, okay. That was, okay, Rebecca said, second is not bad, but wifey is number 1. If the mother had her own husband and her own business, she would understand. She expects her husband to do the same when all 3 are together, such as mother's husband's daughter. If he acknowledged her first when walking into the room, she will feel it. It's based on respect.
Mhm.
It's based on respect. And we want to look at it at I want you to read Jerome's. And we Nadi, okay. And we look at it as someone said it's a matter of respect. It's a matter of respect, respecting elders.
Yeah, Amari.
Okay.
Yeah, elders because respect.
A matter of respecting elders. I truly believe, and we truly believe in respecting our elders. But respecting your spouse does not negate your respect to your parents.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Because you married your wife, you married your husband. You all became one at that point. You all became one. So putting someone else ahead of, and I'm sorry, I have to tick on this for a minute. Ladies, if you're not teaching your son the value of being a good husband, because one day he may be, you are doing him an injustice. You are doing him an injustice.
Mm-hmm.
If he feels like you're more important, and this tends to happen, they mentioned it earlier in our discussion, that every girl that our sons bring home, she ain't good enough. And we talk these things up and we say these things, and why you like her? And I don't like her, and something wrong with her. And there may be something wrong with her. It may be that you don't like her. But when we produce these thoughts in our sons' minds, they want to compare everyone to us. And sometimes that's a natural thing because the first woman a man falls in love with, a boy falls in love with, is his mother. Is his mother. So he wants to maybe compare those two and try to say, okay, my mom, she has to be like my mom. She has to cook like my mom. She has to treat me like my mom. Nobody, men, is going to treat you like your mother. And that is not your wife's position. Yeah, I know. So let's grab.
We're gonna grab a couple of them real quick. So first, Nadi said, "Oh, Coach, I really appreciate your recent video on Black love, especially the need for peace." He said, "Okay, carry on." So if y'all don't know, you go to my YouTube channel. It's a great video about Black love. Jerome said, I think that's what we left out. Yes, I believe there is a point in a man's life to read and seek understanding and knowledge to know these things. And you are absolutely right, Jerome. Because here's the thing, and that actually segues into a point of our conversation as well. Yeah, like Baby said, a lot of these young men are put in positions where they are told that they're the man of the house at a young age, when they are not the man of the house, right? And the reason why they're not the man of the house, because what does the man of the house do? You know, provide, protect, you know, and teach. Provide, protect, and teach, or lead, however you want to use term you want to use.
Right.
But a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 14, 15-year-old is not doing those things. He cannot be, nor will he ever be, the man of his mother's house. He is still the son of his mother's house, never the man. But when he's being told that, he takes on that mindset and thinks that that's where he's supposed to be in that, and he starts trying to play that position. But then when he gets his own wife, he now thinks he got to be the man of both houses. But the first house is the one that he puts first, which is the mother. Now, how that plays as far as like getting the car situation. Now, this is me. Now, I do have a mother who prefers to be in the backseat. All right, but my mom understands my wife will always come first, and that's her place. Now, if my wife gives up that space, that's her doing it, her, being sacrificial to it. But the idea that if we're walking to the car, because I think Rebecca said something like that, if we're walking to the car, my wife is I'm naturally going to put my wife in the front seat and put my mom in the back seat. It's not a thing of disrespecting elders. It's a thing of respecting my wife and making sure there is clear indication and understanding as to whose place, because a lot of mothers will take advantage of that and think that she now has authority within your home.
Right.
And they will take that authority. Yes, they can become that petty and take that authority. I've seen that happen plenty of times. where I've seen a couple struggling financially. We didn't talk about this one, but I've seen a couple struggling financially. But that mother still told the son and daughter that it's my birthday and you should have been planning for it. It's Mother's Day, you should have been planning for it. It's Christmas and you should have been planning for it. It's like you should still be planning for you, the mother. But never did she say you should be planning for his mother.
Right.
It was always just her. So there is that pettiness that can be.
Crystal, yeah, we left there.
Yeah. So Crystal said, yes, wait a minute. Before I go there. Well, now we'll come back to it about the men teaching the son.
Right. Yeah.
Crystal said, yes, I was a single mother of a son and daughter, but I did teach him to put his woman, girlfriend, and wife first. I understand he will always look out for me, but I've told him it's okay. My mother naturally gravitated to the back seat when we approached the car at the same time when my man was driving. That's how it should be. And Amarachi got it. That I personally wouldn't allow an elder to sit in the back seat unless they wanted to.
Right. And I agree with you, Amarachi. When we do go to the car, whether it's my mother or his mother, I'm automatically putting them in the front seat.
And I'm automatically telling my wife to get in the front seat.
And they're usually like, no, I'm going to sit in the back. Because my mom will say, no, sit with your husband. Or his mom would be like, no, I'm going to sit in the back. You sit up front. But that is that respect thing. But it doesn't mean they're prioritized over me when it comes to him.
And I do think that it could come down to who the parent is. When you know how the parent is, now I know that I could put my mom in the front seat or put Donna's mom in the front seat, and they know their place.
Right.
They're not going to then think that they have some type of they come first in over my wife.
Just because they got the
because
front seat.
I understand, because I do know their personality. So it can come down to that. But in the very beginning, I will make sure that there is a clear understanding that this here comes first. Well, we ain't going into that part, but this here comes first. So.
Okay. Let's see. Kiwana said, I just said this same thing. He is my son, not my man. I raised him to respect his mate to the utmost. It makes me proud that he values his role as a husband. She's my now daughter. There should be, she's my now daughter. There should be no competition between her and I, and marriage is already hard enough. I will not be a reason for demise between them. Yes. Wonderful. I totally agree with you.
I don't know where Crystal come in on probably on something, but I haven't figured it out yet. She ain't, laugh out loud, but she still deserves to be treated with respect and like a lady.
Mom.
Okay. It may make her act right if he treats her right.
Okay.
And we ain't talking to Jackson.
Hey, Jackson. Yes, we are talking to Jackson. You say hello to Jackson.
What up, dude? Always on somebody else's side.
And Samara, his woman doesn't come first. His wife comes first. His woman doesn't come first. His wife comes first. There are steps to this thing, but those conversations need to be had long before marriage. There should be boundaries with parents. Exactly. And that's what I was saying. We need to teach these things. Our children need to understand these things. We don't just need to talk to them about sex and, respecting themselves and their bodies. And when you get into a relationship with a guy or whatever, we need to be talking about them about all of these family dynamics. All of these family dynamics. Because like she said, marriage is hard enough, not to add that her will is always squeaking.
Yep.
It's hard enough. And you don't want to build that animosity between your spouse and your parents.
No, you don't, because then you just gonna have a whole bunch.
Yeah, grandchildren come along and family events come along and people sitting over looking crazy and I don't want to go to their house and I don't want to go to this house. We need to understand our place and our position. Once we are married, every single person takes second seat.
That's right. Oh, Kristen, she was talking about when you said girlfriend is not being good enough.
Oh, okay, girl, it's not being good enough. Yeah, they probably not, because they just as dumb as the guys are at that point in time.
But you can't imprint that.
Right, but we don't want to imprint that in that every girl that comes along, he's like, oh, she ain't like my mama. Oh, she ain't good enough like my mama. Well, yeah, we don't want to do that. We want to teach them a healthy balance, a healthy balance.
Yeah. Now I want to segue right here into the father's responsibility. Now we said initially this thing is created because mothers imprint on these sons, these boys, that they are the men of the house. They you the man of the house because if she doesn't have a man, she'll imprint that on. Now, whether there's a man there or not, and especially if you're in the house together, the father of that young man has the responsibility of ensuring that he grows up knowing that he will have his own house to take care of, right? So, and whether he's in the house or not. Now, if he's in the house, then he should be demonstrating how his wife comes first, the boy's mother comes first to him, making sure he understands that my wife, so he can't be putting his mother first. The grandma can't be coming first. He has to make sure he's showing that his wife comes first. Not and demonstrating it, but also verbally. Now, if he's not in the house, this one takes multiple looks. One, how he treats the mom is vital. I don't care why y'all broke up. It doesn't matter when it comes to the child.
Nope.
When it comes to teaching the son how to be, then the father needs to always, no matter how she treats him, be cordial to his mother. When the child is small, we talked about Mother's Day and birthdays and holidays. When the child is small, help the child get mother gifts.
Right.
Show him the respect of giving to mother, but make sure you're explaining that this is your mom. You're not over this household. You can't even buy her a gift by yourself. So how are you the man of the house? You're not. And you don't have to do it cruel. Right. You can just be like, okay, if you're not the man of the house, are you paying any bills? You're not. I got to help you buy this Mother's Day gift, right? Yeah. So how can you be the man of the house? When you come to my house, I pay the bills, right? I take care of everything, right? So this is what the man of the house does. You're not doing that. Right. So you can show him that you're not there, and that's not your responsibility. And if the father does have if he has a stepmother or a girlfriend, whatever female the father is dealing with, then he demonstrates the same thing with her, not letting his mother come first before the woman that's in his house. However often that they spend time together, this has to be a clear and concise thing. And it shows up in many different formats. With my son, I demonstrate this recently with my son when he got I set him up with Navy Federal with the bank. We was on the phone. I set up every account he's supposed to have. He's 19. Every account he's supposed to have. And then I told him, you need these accounts set up this way so that you can be able to take care of your house when you get a wife. Not any other format. Not you got to take care of your mom. The only thing I told him about his mother is you still living in your mother's house, you need to pay a bill.
Right.
Right. But your responsibility is to prepare yourself to take care of your house. Never have I told him your responsibility is to prepare yourself to take care of your mom.
Me and your mama.
Yeah. That's because that's not his responsibility.
We're coming, Jerome. I hear you. So Claudia says in-laws are supposed to be a welcome addition to each other, a way of expanding the family for generations. Right. There should not be that animosity and issue between the in-laws. Jerome.
Naughty said, preach down.
Jerome makes a good point, and we were coming there, Jerome. We were coming that way. We were coming that way. Scenario flip. Does the husband get the front seat if the wife's father approaches car or wants the front seat? What does the wife do in this situation? Does the husband get the front seat if the father is coming? If the father is coming to the car as well.
Did she come in on the same? She hit it at the same time.
Okay, and Claudia said if the roles were reversed, there is no way Unless the father is very elderly, a wife should take a back seat to a man, regardless of whether he's father or not. No, Claudia, what he was saying was the two men.
I don't think they were.
Yeah. So Jerome was saying, what Jerome is saying, if I go to the car and Lorenzo and my dad are both going to the car, who gets the front seat? Who gets the front seat?
I already know that.
Same scenario. He gets
said her father.
the front seat. He gets the front seat, Jerome. He's my husband. He's my husband. But again, like I respect his
Just
mom.
like I get the big piece of chicken.
That's right. That's right. He now gets the big piece of chicken. And Father's Day, Thanksgiving, Daddy used to get the big piece. Daddy would get the first piece.
Right.
At Thanksgiving dinner.
Now I call it the turkey.
But I now have a husband. So he gets the big piece.
I carved the turkey. I turned the lights on the tree.
It is my mother's responsibility
What's another thing?
to get Daddy get the other piece.
It's my plate first.
But out of respect, Jerome, with my father being old, my father don't think he elderly. He think he cool. So he'd be like, nah, man. Well, how do he say it? He be imitating my dad, y'all. Like, nah, man, you got it. You got it. You know?
Oh, man, Lorenzo, man. You gonna get that Big Mac? You gonna go to McDonald's, man. Shoot, man, we going to McDonald's. Hey, what, you going to McDonald's now? Oh, man, you got that front seat? Man, Donna treating you right, man. She treating you right. She treating you right. Man, I ain't never seen Donna treat no man like that before. Man.
Okay.
First one I ever seen. I don't know what you doing to Donna, man. I don't know. It's different, man. You different.
Okay.
You made Donna different. I like it now.
Anyway.
It's good now, man.
Anyway.
Shoot, we can go McDonald's.
Oh my God. Anyway, my husband, Jerome, would be in the front seat.
Right. And her mother would understand because she'd be like, now, Donna, you know that you got to take care of your husband now. Now, I'm going to pray for y'all because you got to make sure your husband take care of you. You got to get him
my parents. I started. I should have started.
Okay.
I did. I started. So yeah, Jerome.
I'm going to have you down in a minute, Claudette.
Oh, yeah. Claudette is my sister. So yeah, Jerome, same scenario, same thing. He gets the front seat because he comes before.
You know, they say Coach telling all the business.
He's coming before anyone else.
That's what it
anyone else.
Because here's a thought process. When you your aunt, your brother, your sister, your cousin, nobody. You don't even plan to spend your rest of your life at a job.
Can I put this point in there?
Mm-hmm.
I have heard several men say, a woman will leave you. My mom is here for life. My mom is here for, bruh, marry your mama. Marry your mama.
And here's the thing.
Because if you don't feel that commitment with your wife, then you went into it already prepared for it not to work.
You know the ones who say that, and I'm gonna piss some of y'all off with this one.
Do it.
The piss punk dudes who say that are the ones who mother doesn't have a man, or who's with a man, but he ain't a good man.
Right.
He ain't strong enough to make her so caught up with him that she like, boy, you better go and get your life.
Right.
Because I got mine.
Right.
If your mama had that kind of man, she would not put herself in that position. She wouldn't be saying that. She wouldn't raise you that way. And the fact of the matter is, if she had a man, you wouldn't be thinking that way because you would have never got into that mode.
And we're not saying mama don't have a man because she can't keep a man. We're not saying that. We're just saying if mom and dad had relationships that were essential to them within their spouses, they wouldn't look to their children to fulfill certain needs. Woo! Man, go read. Jerome in the house.
Jerome said, but what if you're a daddy's girl and she is offended?
And he is offended.
Does the same stress for the husband to stand up to his mother apply to her and the wife to stand up to her dad?
Of course it does.
It most certainly does.
Of course it does.
And like Rebecca said, Rebecca who said that this is, or Gail. that's something you should have a conversation with beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Because if me and Donna, in our process, if she had said that, well, my daddy's gonna always come first, then I would have been like, okay, well, you should go marry your daddy, and you will probably be alone unless you marry some punk dude who is gonna sit there and cower to you. Because there's no man or woman will give up their right authority in their house, right? Like, I can't stand when I see that though. Actually, when people like a father or a mother can walk into the house and tell them how to live in the house,
right?
And or the wife or the husband says, "Well, I want to change this or that because my daddy said so or my mom said so." No, you got to stand up to that parent. You got one of them bullish parents like that. It is your responsibility, and yeah, your wife should stand up and say, "Dad, I love you. I respect you. I will always honor you. But this is my husband now. This is the person I'm going to wake up to in the morning. This is the person that I tell my innermost things to. This is the person that when you dead and gone, I'm still with this person." Now, I'm going to tell you, if you can't build up years of daddy come first, mama come first, daddy come first, mama come first, then they pass on and you looking down the barrel of 30, 40, 50 more years with this person, and now you expect them to like the fact that they coming first? No. Why don't you go to the grave every day and talk to your mom and your dad since they came first? Go get some more of that because they're gonna resent it.
Yeah, they're gonna resent it
because now they just getting it because they passed on, not because you actually respect them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So no.
So you all please understand that there's certain essentials that are necessary, foundations that have to be established early on in your relationship, in your marriage. Those foundations you have to continue to stand on those, because in order to build and have years and years and years of married bliss between the aggravations and all the other things that come along, you have to set standards. You have to set standards. And no, we're not knocking any of the men who feels like your mother comes first. Your mother will always be there. Your mother gave you life. Any of you?
I'm not.
Okay, no.
The mother comes first.
Right. I'm saying no. What I'm saying to any of them that feel that way, understand the root and the reason why you feel that way. Right. And once you learn better, you do better. Okay. And it shouldn't cause issues. If it causes issues between you and your mother or you and your father, ladies, then you may have to disconnect and walk away from that for the purpose of your spouse, for the happy of your home.
Because why are you here?
Why are you here? That is our catchphrase. We say that every Monday. Why are you here with other people's thoughts and other people's feelings and how our household is going to run, and if they approve of what we do or what we don't do?
Right.
And please understand also, just because our children, I'm saying our children because we have adult children. And you all may have adult children. Just because their relationships work out and they come to us for help, for advice, we shouldn't finger wag and say, "I told you not to be with her. I told you not to be with him." Mm-hmm. Because we have life lessons learned as well. We went through some stumbles and we kissed some frogs and dealt with some heifers that we shouldn't have. So just because that happens, there should not be the "I told you so," because that's not for them to do. For their happiness first, and then the happiness of their spouse. I used to not believe the statement that it takes one to fix a marriage. And a lot of people don't get that, and they don't see it, they don't understand it. But I learned it takes one. And let me tell y'all why it takes one. Because if his efforts are so strong as showing me how much he loves me and how much affection he shows towards me, which he does, because I'm not going to lie, y'all, we already know I'm not the easy one. I'm not the easy one. Woo! He's the glue. I'm the Velcro. He's the glue. I'm the Velcro.
I need all that positive energy.
And that just comes from our past experience. I've dealt with some foolishness. So it's hard for me to just jump right in there and be like, yes, man, tell me what to do. Yeah, that's hard to do. But because he shows, and I told him the other day, totally transparent, because somebody needs to hear, somebody is there. Somebody is there. Take it or leave it, now or later. I told him last week, we had an argument. And I told him last week, you want this more than I do. You came for me. You asked me to be your wife. You want this more than I do. And I'm sure it hit him right here. But he understood after all of this. He understood where I was coming from. Not that I don't want to be here. Not that I don't love him like crazy. Not that he is not the most consistent man I have ever met in my life. And I so appreciate that. Not that. But there's some things that I have to come through, overcome, and realize. And my prayer the other morning, we pray together every morning. We are not the same religion. Doesn't matter. We pray together every morning. And I asked God the other morning, help me to see this man for who he is and not be concerned with what the other ones did. Setting those foundations. So no one could come in. No one could come in. Now, mind you, I mentioned we're not the same religion. Did I have pushback from my family? Some of them? Because of that? Yep, I did. But with all due respect, did I care? Nope. Because this is my life. This is my love. This is who I'm growing old with. He's already a bit there. See the gray? No, we the same age, y'all.
All right, we sure are.
48.
But black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
Sure don't.
But this is the man that I chose to spend the rest of my life with. The rest of my life with. So I couldn't be concerned with what others thought and what others said. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't put my efforts into saying, oh, no, my mama, or no, my daddy, you know, I have to take care of this and I have to deal with that first. So, tough one right here. This is a tough one for some. Say you pay your, let me put it on the ladies, because we always put it toward the men. Say you pay your daddy's bills. You take care of a bill for him. You've been doing it for years. You take care of daddy's bill, his electric bill, his car note, or whatever. Because daddy, I want to help you. I appreciate you. I respect you. I can afford to do it. You get married. You all are in a position where you can't even really pay your own bills. Or y'all are struggling. Or y'all trying to build a savings and y'all trying to build. What do you do? Told y'all this is going to be this.
Well, while y'all thinking about it, let's see what we missed some commentary.
We missed some commentary?
I don't think we missed any up here. I don't know why my YouTube don't want to talk. Forget y'all then. But no, I love y'all. Jerome said, I know it was a Jerome.
I appreciate
you two seeing this can happen to husbands. It is typical. Oh, Daddy wants to say something.
Oh, why people? Why? Hey, go ahead. She said, "Sorry, Daddy." Oh, it's popping up. Okay. I appreciate you two seeing this can happen to the husband.
Right. It is typically a one-sided approach and view. Respect to tag team.
Ooh, you missing something.
No, respect to tag team marriage / wedding.
Thank you.
Claudette said, is there an instance where the mother comes first before the wife? And Claudette also said, if you feel like your parents should come first in something, how do you approach that with your spouse?
Ooh, and that kind of led right into what I just said.
And what did they say?
Yeah, they did say something. That just kind of led into what I said in the question that I posed. The question that I posed: if you're paying daddy's bill,
thanks for being transparent.
How do you're welcome, 99. How can you approach that with your spouse?
Mm-hmm.
You have a conversation and you help them to understand that your parents are in a position where they need your help.
Right.
And we work out a way where we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
not taking away from what we need to do, but there has to be a middle ground or a middle point. Maybe we're going to pay half of daddy's bill.
Right.
Maybe we're going to do every other month.
Well, here's the example that me and my brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
So, some years and years ago, my mom, she retired, stopped working, but she didn't have enough money to actually like live her life. She wasn't getting enough money. So what we did was first we figured out a place that she could stay that was nice and that would fit into her budget to be able to take care of most of her bills naturally. But then one of the things that was an issue and we wanted to make sure she had always is a cell phone. Mm-hmm. So what we did was we looked at the fact that between the three of us, we take 4 months apiece to pay her cell phone bill, right? So it's a minor bill, but we made sure the majority of the bills fit into a budget that didn't, we went through the government. We spent like 6 months filling out government paperwork. Mm-hmm. We went and got our mother all the money we can find mm-hmm. for her to be able to get free. Mm-hmm. Well, it ain't free because she earned it,
Right.
So we went and figured out. Yeah, we did all the paperwork to get as much money as she could. And then after getting all of that, we looked at what was left, and then which wasn't much after we did that. And we just split that up. And when me and Donna got together, I just let her know this is what we did. At first, I let her know everything we did to make sure we didn't have to take care of a large portion of her lifestyle. Then I told her this is the only thing that's remaining. So when you preset it, now the problem is when you got situations where there are opportunities for you not to pay for mom's household and all that, or dad's household, and you don't want to do the paperwork mm-hmm. to get it done to alleviate the burden on you, the child. Mm-hmm. Right? And there are a few. There are a few things. It's not so much that there are instances where mom comes first. There's just family sacrificial things that you just do.
Right.
If you got an elderly parent, it's difficult for them to get in the backseat. Or
right.
You got a parent who's older and they need to come live with you. Then, you make the sacrifice for that, when you do things like that. Or you pay for an insurance that when they get older, it pays for them to be in a nicer place mm-hmm, to live.
So Claudette said, how do you handle it if you can't help your parents anymore and they feel deserted by you? That is a good question. That is a good question. How do you handle it if you can't help your parents anymore and they feel deserted by you?
Well.
Yeah, I'm going to take this like that. I'm going to say it will be hard. It will be tough. It will be tough. And like he said, I like what they did. They went to every ends of options, whether that be helping her as a senior get the benefits and the discounts that she can.
All the discounts and Social Security.
Right. And get all and get all the things that they can.
Disabilities.
It is hard. It would be hard. It would be hard to tackle that. It would be hard to say, Mom, I can't pay this, I can't pay that anymore. But again, I'm always going to revert to how can we work this out? We're not going to leave mom out there dry. We're not going to leave dad out there dry. So, Claudia, to be honest, I don't think we would ever say or tell our parents what we can't do anymore.
Right.
We're going to make a way to do it. We're going to make a way to do it.
And I think it would be like, honestly, I think it's selfish on the parent part if you just letting it linger without going out to figure out other ways to make it happen.
Right.
I mean, if push came to shove and it was, if there was a situation where one of our parents was so destitute that they needed us to pay for their house, but it would cause such a strain with us, then the answer would just be, they about to come live with us because I'm not paying for two houses when we could just have to do one house. And we just have to establish a way of living in the one house. Because if we're going to pay for the parent just need to come with us because we can't pay a mortgage here and a mortgage over there.
Right.
Something got to give.
And we honestly we would not want to do that. Nobody wants their mother-in-law living in their house.
No, you don't.
I'm not gonna say nobody, because some people
Well,
have an excellent relationship, and
I
it
was like,
doesn't matter, and they're fine with it. So I'm not gonna say no one
Yeah.
would want that.
I was gonna say, because in my past, when Pappy Gray was staying with me,
Mhm.
oh, that was on
Best situation.
Oh, yard
That's
of the month.
His ex-wife's father.
Yeah.
That's
Like when I was
they
14,
had a relationship.
when I was 14 and my grandfather had passed away, he stepped in as my dad, and took that father role. But my yard was like yard of the month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So some people don't have that issue. It's not a problem to have their in-laws to move in or whatever. But
It's all
again,
personality.
Foundation, which you set at the very beginning with your spouse,
Right.
and y'all talk those things out. Jerome said there has to that will possibly help both to meet the must-have needs. Jerome, that's nice. There may have to be some sacrificing. There would have to be some sacrificing.
Sure would.
Going on. There has to be some sacrificing. Claudia said, furthermore, what if they blamed your spouse? If your parent blamed your spouse that you could not help them anymore.
Your parent being selfish.
They're being selfish. They are. They're being selfish. And
right.
Again, we have to understand everybody's not kind of trying to come out to the best on this situation.
But that's
they want what's for them.
That's a question of how you said earlier, though.
What?
Go to that parent and say, hey, we're blaming you for you stopping your husband or wife from being able to continue to pay the electric bill or pay whatever bill that they have been paying previously.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if it's directed towards them, they'll be like, nah, that ain't right. But then you do the same thing. One of my biggest things, and I really believe that we can save the world, save the entire world. We can end war. We can end all war. We can end the need for police and government and everything if we all just follow this one idea.
What's that?
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if a parent would feel, if you don't feel like you want to be blamed, then you don't do the blaming.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you don't want to have to pay for it, it needs to be paid for. Right? If you was in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and you was always paying for your in-laws or your parents, then why are you setting yourself do unto others as you have them do unto you?
Right.
That's all it takes in this world.
Yeah. And we understand sometimes there's no control over that. Disease and sickness, things like that happen.
And when it does, but that's do unto others.
Yeah.
If sickness or disease or injury happened to me,
right? Because I don't want to live in Rajon's house. I don't want to live with Charisma's so mean to me sometimes.
I don't want to live in Sydney's house. Sydney seems nice and sweet, but Sydney be ordering folks around. She's bossy.
Lincoln just
Lincoln actually is the house we want to live in.
No,
Lincoln ain't gonna care. We just go do what we want to do.
Lincoln be like, what?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Simone
Pooh. Simone, she be baking stuff for us. Like, y'all wake up.
Time to meditate.
Meditating
time for yoga. Time to burn some incense.
We hope this was a good cover. I had fun with this one.
I did.
It is a little of a touchy subject. It's a touchy subject.
It can't.
We're gonna kind of end with this. Men. Oh yeah. I know there's another part to this that we can talk about, and that's when you put your children before your spouse.
But that's a whole nother 55 minutes.
That's a whole nother 55 minutes. So we can do a part 2 to this as well. When you put your children before your spouse. Children that come from previous relationships. That's even tough. Subject needs to be provocative in order to learn. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That's another hard one to delve into.
That'll be another. So before we go,
I just want to say, fellas, men, if you are that man that says that your mother comes before your wife, comes before your spouse, please take a good hard look at why you say that.
Mm-hmm.
And understand the woman that you asked to take your name and to be your wife, please explain why she is not deserving of being number one. And then also, ladies, same thing. If you're a daddy's girl, if you feel like my daddy is gold and nothing he says is wrong, and you comparing your husband to your father, please reevaluate why you're doing that. And understand you married this man.
Yeah. Don't log off yet, y'all.
You married this man. What did Jerome say?
Ain't nobody paying attention,
I have
Jerome.
nothing going on for the next 55. Where you all? I have nothing going on for the next 50.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
Because we said that to talk about the kids.
Oh, another 55. Jerome, I have to get up at.
Let me explain something.
45.
And I rushed home from work. I rush home every Monday so that we can do this. Meaning, I have not spent the evening quality time with my wife. So whatever, dude. But here's the thing: we've finished. Good.
I thought Andrew, your wife comes first. Sorry. Yeah. Right. His wife always comes first.
So we're gonna introduce a new thing, and I meant to say this at the very beginning. That's something to like keep y'all here on the cliffhanger. So at the end of every show, at the end of every show, we're gonna have our intimacy tip of the night.
Intimacy.
I can't say intimacy.
Intimacy.
Tip of the week.
All
right. Now I wanted it to be something else, but I forgot to have it with me right now, so I'm shooting off on something different. All right.
Oh.
So for this week, or even if you don't have a spouse, practice by yourself. All right. So this week, since we all COVIDed it up, at some point in this week, candlelight picnic in the living room. That's the intimacy tip for the week. So it ain't always gonna be something to do, something that's gonna be thoughts or conversation to have, or games to play and toys to play with. But
that's the subject.
That's why I forgot to get.
We keep saying that's what you got to get.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to get that.
Yeah.
So they have no clue.
I know.
I bet you they think like, what they got?
But they're gonna make you come back for next week.
Yeah.
So
intimacy
tip of the week. Have a picnic
in your living
room, or if you got kids running around crazy in your bedroom. I'm talking. You got to get the candles. You got to have the soft music.
Mm-hmm.
Get the oils. Mm-hmm. Rub each other down. Have a conversation that has nothing to do with work or family crazy or anything crazy. Just y'all two. Just the two of y'all.
Yeah. Don't talk about work. Don't talk about kids.
Mm-mm. Just enjoy the moments of the, and it got to be at least an hour of y'all just with each other, enjoying the moment. It don't have to turn into sex, but it can. It's always a good thing if it does.
It's always a good thing.
And if you're by yourself, if you don't have a spouse or a girlfriend, whatever, significant other, sit down by yourself. Enjoy the moment. Have your glass. I'm gonna have my glass. My baby don't drink, but I'm having my glass. Have your glass. Sit there by yourself and just feel the environment, so that when you do have a spouse or mate, you ready. Practice how you gonna play.
Now you don't have to take an hour to do that by yourself. You don't have to do that. Not an hour.
Depends on what you're doing.
Just
get a little touchy-feely with yourself.
If you are going toward marriage, if that's something that you're looking for, because everyone is not at the point looking for that. But when you put your mindset to say, I want a wife, I want a husband, understand you have to practice how you're going to play. That's what he is saying. Practice how you play. What did I say? How are single folks gonna have intimate moments?
I just told you.
99.
By yourself.
No, play.
Glass of wine.
Yeah.
Candlelight.
No, it's a practice how you play.
That's right.
Practice how you play.
Get yourself some flowers. Listen to some good soft music. Because then when you're used to it, you know how that environment's going to be. And then you're creating it. You will manifest that environment.
Right.
it becomes part of who you are and how you do things. All right.
Yeah,
and
you can't wait to. You are already.
And I know we're supposed to be done with this, but let me tell you how that happened. I've met so many people like, oh, when I get married, I'm gonna be doing this, I'm gonna be doing that, I'm gonna be doing that. And when they first dating, they doing it. But then when you get married, the first 3 months, 2 months, 4 months, maybe even practice
because they never practiced.
They never
you just said it. It was something you just spoke and you said, I'm gonna do because it sounds good.
Right. And
that's what they did on the movie.
Crystal said, "Wine down." I used to go to Wednesday
wine down weekend.
I used to go to Wednesday wine down.
A weekday in full effect.
And Atlanta,
we did that the other night. I'm sorry, we cut you off because we're losing time. We already over. But we did that the other night. Like we came home from the popcorn shop and we sat in the back and he had a cigar and a glass of wine.
Yep.
And I had a bottle of water. And I had to take my hair down, ladies. So we talked, and I was taking my hair down in the moonlight, and you know, telling me his bucket list and his things that, you know, and we talked about how, you know, we just envisioned doing this before
we had this.
Before we did it. Before we got.
And I had my cigar and wine and everything. I used to go to a cigar bar and I would sit by myself and I would imagine being with my wife, or I would be at my own, when I had my own spot, sitting at my own spot in the backyard or whatever. And I would imagine my wife being there with me. You can do it by yourself. So I took myself to waterfalls. I took myself to picnics. I did it all myself so that I have a wife. Is still a part of my mind. I travel by myself so that when I got a wife, we can travel together. So I kept doing it and I kept doing it. So start practice. So you can do it when you're single, but definitely if the fire has been gone, the embers are like down low, they ain't even orange no more. You know, blow on them things, get them going back and doing something. Having a weekly event, intimate moment, will help you to do that so greatly. So
yeah,
that's the intimate moment.
Crystal said, "Yep, I saw the pic. Yep, yeah, I saw the pictures because we post everything.
That's right.
We post a lot. We're both entrepreneurs. We're putting out there advertising for our businesses. We wanted to advertise this because we wanted us all to come together.
That's right.
So we do post a lot. And I made a comment today on one of my brats. I shared on her page that not just on her page, it was a statement that I made, but when I read something on her page, I wanted to share it on there. But what I said in short was, we see so much evil and so much disease and wrong things going on. We wake up already fighting the darkness. So to put out a burst of sunshine, a light out there for people who are struggling, that is what we do. Yeah. That is our focus and our goal. Because I truly believe that God does not bless you to keep it all wrapped up. He blesses you so you can share it with others, even if that means great relationship advice.
Yeah.
Because if someone would have told us some different things early on in our previous marriages, in a different mindset, you do that, but let me advise you on how to do this. Then, you know, we may have been with our previous spouses,
or we may have just not chosen those people.
Right? Oh, right? Yeah. Right? And that's the point.
Choices.
That's the point. Yeah. You make some choices.
Yeah.
You make some choices.
Things differently.
You see things differently because, you know, I always used to tell my kids, and I always say that I am my brother's keeper. Like, of course, you know, they on New Jack City, they ask you your brother's keeper.
Yeah.
Like, I am. But, you know, I took that to heart. And, you know, so that's why we share and that's why we post and y'all see our dates and our you know, goings on and our TikTok videos, which we love to do.
And it's a do unto others as you have them do.
Exactly.
We pour into you guys. Y'all pour into us. But we're also, at this moment, we're pouring into each other. Let me tell y'all something. This is just as beneficial to the two of us. because this platform gives us an opportunity to truly express these things. And oftentimes we are expressing things to each other that we are discovering that we're just going deeper with each other. So this is for y'all benefit, but it is also for our benefit.
And know when the cameras go off, this is still rolling.
And it gives us a whole conversation that we have continuously, longer, before the show, after the show.
Yeah.
Which allows us to get deeper with each other. So it's all encompassing.
Yeah, it's not about putting people into our business or looking to be validated other places, because we validate one another daily.
That's right.
But we just want to show some love that's being shown to us by one another, or someone has shown us love by saying, hey, let me give you some advice.
Right.
Which puts us here.
That's why we're here.
That is why we're here.
And with that, we are going to close it out.
So long, farewell, Avita, saying goodbye to you. And you.
Okay. She loves that.
I love the sound of music.
I can't wait to take you back to Germany so you can run on them heels.
Right.
Later.
Thank you, guys. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Next week, Claudette made a point and she shouted out. So, can we have a subject about toys?
Yep.
Actually, it's in our list.
Yeah, sure.
We have a list of subjects, y'all.
Yeah, gotta bring the chest.
And that is in our list of subjects.
Chest.
The chest? You don't bring the chest up?
Yeah. We gotta go shopping too.
Oh yeah, there's some
stuff.
There's some
stuff I want to get. All right, see y'all later. You gonna get nasty.
Yeah, really? You gonna end with that?
Of course. Peace.
Good evening. You in?
Look at you wiping your nose. You blew it. Oh, wow.